Pitchel you upon what? T for two and two. Doris, what were you into back in the day? That worked out. That was punny. I like word whimsy. I've been playing with words since I was a little kid. I grew up on like Shel Silverstein. I didn't like Dr. Seuss. I liked the artwork. That was about it. I thought it was silly. Like it wasn't. It was like because I watch people like overreact to it. I guess during library time, they'd read something and it'd be like, "Yeah, that's cute," but people would be like, "Bleh!" And I'd be like, "That's dumb." So I woke up so happy today. I haven't woken up like happy in a very like because I've lived in like what is it where you push away what you're afraid of. What's that called? I've been doing that for years, and now all the stuff that I'm getting afraid of has happened, and so I don't have to be afraid of this stuff anymore because all everything I was ever scared of that's ever happened has happened, and I lived through every single one of it. Every single one of it. The stuff I have lived through is insane. The stuff I have lived through is so crazy and remarkable. Just for the sheer fact that I still have a smile on my face, and I made it as many years on this crazy alien ant farm with all my teeth in pretty good shape, not unscathed. Still, I work for my shape. I use my energy wisely and constructive, and I'm up in my candy making game. I'm so excited. I don't have to think about the world and it falling apart or trying to rebuild. I'm going to build my own world. And people want to come hang out and be a part of it and take what they learn in my world and go back out into the rest of it and make what their own version of it. I support that. So I'm planting seeds for the spring. I got Scorpio moon, so that's what you're supposed to do. I'm not gonna sit here and feel so good and I'm gonna keep that going. So I'm gonna get two faces into a couple bottles. The only bottles I get faced into now is sparkling apple cider. I got two bottles. Mom's birthday 75, and we celebrate her every day she wakes up. We celebrate like it's a birthday because she woke up to a new day, and with all the hell that she's been through, it's a fucking miracle. It's a miracle. She's here at 75, man. I am so happy. Marge, you wake up today? Yay! Aw, one day there's gonna be a day where there's not gonna be an answer. Cause that's how life goes, man. It's brutal. We're just animals with opposable thumbs. We're supposed to make people as comfortable as we possibly can while we're here. What's comfortable to them, not what we think that they deserve. Oh my God, the ways I've had to live in the last 5 years because all I wanted to do is keep my dogs until their last breath and take care of them. That's all I wanted to do. It's like my purpose. And then in the meantime, I do my side gigs. So I make stickers, and I have T-shirts and stickers and magnets made, and I make candy that make people give them good night's sleep. And when they're sick, they make them feel better. And then, because that's the goal in life, is because if people feel better, right? All these healers and healing, all these people that talk about healing, right? You get to a point that you healed, you feel so good, you just want nothing else to do that to other people. You just want everybody to feel as good as you. I don't get sick very often, but when I get sick, like it hits me, it takes me out energetically. Like I gotta process everything in my body. It's like a cellular dump and recharge. And so I try to keep healthy, so I don't gotta do that. But man, the ways that people wanted me to live because they were uncomfortable in their lives, right? Because hurt people, right? So I don't hurt. I talk shit. I don't hurt nobody. I just talk trash. I'm the stater of obvious things. That's all I do. I don't do anything else more than that. People just don't like things that I obviously state because then I put character defects that they have about themselves. I put a light on that, and then they got to look at those character defects And that people don't like doing that. They avoid. They put themselves in glass houses or fake studios. Call it whatever you want, so that they don't have to face themselves. I was processing feelings this morning because it snowed this morning, and it was the first snow since 2010 that I didn't wake up and have to like shovel a path. So for the $4, like my life has shifted so much in the last year, and I know a lot of people are worried about '06. If you have a faith outside yourself that you connect to, you don't gotta worry because something else is driving the ship. It ain't you, it ain't me. So I'm excited for '06. 2026 is like the first year that I'm excited about. I'm cautiously optimistic, but it's because I'm gonna make a place for me and Mom, God willing, and the creek don't rise. I'm gonna make our own retreat. That's what I'm gonna build for. I'm gonna move for. I don't need to save the world because I saved myself. I learned how to self-soothe. I saved myself. And when you save yourself, and not only that is I taught myself, I learned all the things that I need to learn, so if anything happens, I can continually, perpetually save myself. So I can speak freely on the internet, and I don't have to do things like, I don't have to show up on the internet when subscriptions get low, because I gotta pay for a F-350, or I gotta pay like Gucci diaper bags and stupid shit that don't matter, stuff like that. Or I don't got no family to take to Disney World and perpetuate that programming, that line of bullshit. Like, I don't have to play in any of that stuff. And for as far as anybody, how they live their life, their life is like a show to me. They put on a show, because things are a lot different if you end up down in the trenches. See, that's how you can tell people they haven't really enlightened enough, because they haven't taken on a load heavy enough where it changes your being. Like, they haven't had that God smack. They're too happy. They're too la 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 la. They don't got that. What is going on with that eyebrow? I got this eyebrow. The masculine energy is just creeping out. I'm gonna tweeze that shit. But I'm in more gratitude than I ever been, because I'm older than I've ever been, and I wake up happy. I'm trying to remember. I think after I bought my house in '07. And then there's like a Christmas that my brother came out to get his dog, and then a friend came out, and we had like 10 inches of snow overnight. And that was like the only Christmas morning that I ever had. Like, of all the Christmas mornings I heard people have, and like the picturesque, because they see things on TV and they want to make that in their lives. But it's hard to create a life where they could afford to make that, so they have a picture and they're just trying to recreate it, and it falls short, so then they want to recreate that feeling someplace else. So you have all these people that travel around to like Taos Valley and Bale and Squaw Valley and Mount Shasta ski, all these places that go around, and they just have to escape themselves to go to another beautiful place. But my beautiful place I found inside, because I learned how to talk myself off a ledge. That Leo Cub dude on the internet, we had a exchange of verbiage. Well, mine are real words. I don't know. His might be AI. He's into that fake shit. He's a fake dude. He's a Leo. They're into fake flashy shit. But then it's like, if the storyline of Ben Davidson, if he's right about stuff, then ain't nobody gonna be able to clicky on your website to look at look how you play with words and make pictures from the words. Play. And so we exchanged words, because he ain't changed much, and he verified that he's just more ego, he's less spirit, which is unfortunate, because now he's procreated. You know, so now he's creating the program of consumerism and having the best of the best, which an F-350 is trash in 2026. It's not a practical. But if he would have honored his commitment in the Navy instead of talking about how he was in the military, dude got kicked out for smoking weed or some basic trite shit. He would have actually learned things. But that's the thing. He didn't honor his commitment. Look at all the stuff he missed out on learning. I did 6 years and I learned so much. So I can actually perpetuate my truth speaking with actually speaking the truth because I was there. But homeboy just was there for like a couple weeks. So he played a role. And that's what I found, like people like the Leo Cub and like all these flashy people that have huge Eckhart Tolle, like whatever, call, you know, like what, call him the Sadhguru. I got a book that he signed in there because I went and saw him in Washington. And, you know, it's like I've come across all these really stellar human beings in life, and all this time, like I didn't have running water, like we didn't have stable housing, like there's none of them was help me go get into a better position. But they have a lot of stuff, you know, fifth wheeler trailers with couple pop outs, jet skis, you know, all this stupid shit. No skills, like, you know. Like, if it came down to it, I got bug out bags and stuff like that. I'm putting a kitchen in the back of the Suburban so I can slide out drawers and just pull up on people. Go to the store, get some, like, whatever I feel like cooking a bunch of food that me and Mom aren't going to eat, but I love to cook. I'm going to take my griddle out and freaking pull it out, and we're going to charge people's electronic devices, whether it's speakers, headphones, cell phones, on the generator, and then while they're waiting to have their shit, I'm gonna make them a nice meal like restaurant shit, and they don't gotta pay for a thing because you know why? I paid for it with the 6 years I did killing people in places that we have no business. So I get enough income every month. I don't need to make it. See, that's the thing. People are freaking out because things are changing and they live lives of comfort now, but everything's changing. So the level, their definition of comfort's gonna have to change. But me and Mom, we're set for life. We're set for life because even if that direct deposit every 30, 20, 30, even if it doesn't hit, I have every single thing that I need and want. I got a solar generator. I got a gas power generator. I got like electric, like we can sit in the lap of luxury for quite a while on the resources that we have. And a lot of people are freaking out because they don't know how to take care of the people that they love. And that's why whenever I wanted to sit around and do what I wanted to do, every time I wanted to sit around and freaking, like I had bursted energy and I didn't do something that was going to advance myself in the future, I would eat my own lunch. I'd make myself feel bad about it. I mean, it kind of goes, I'm just talking like my astrology right now, really, because my astrology, and I know that I use intelligence, or I know all, because everybody relinquished control. All the people said, get the computer to do it, and we'll just sit back and collect a direct deposit. And so it's not, that's why I avoid that whole cesspoolage. It's just more bro club. So that's why bros like it, and I can't stand any of that shit. So co-star, it says your life is happening exactly where you are, not where you wish you were. I don't wish I was anyplace else. For the first time in my life, there is no place else I would rather be. The chase is over. I have arrived. So I don't gotta worry about nanotech. I don't gotta worry about none of that because I just turn the channel in the remote control of my mind. As a Pisces Venus, you're always had the ability to imagine alternative realities. Yeah, because for everybody I come across, they're having their own autonomous secret, their experience. Like even the dogs. And they weren't my pets. They were my travel companions. They were the things that I got to love when the whole world wouldn't let me love any of it because they hate themselves. And when people hate themselves, they don't let people love them because they know they don't deserve it or some bullshit. But I always knew I deserved it. I just couldn't find it. I couldn't find the, what's that word, reciprocity, the exchange, the exchange. It was just, I'd give it, give it, give it, give it, give it, give it, give it. And that's how I learned to not let my mouth get ahead of my feet. Let my mouth say things that my feet wasn't willing to carry me to do. That was always, because Mom used to drill in my head, be a person of integrity. And that is doing what you say you're going to do. And I ain't 100% because there ain't nothing 100% on planet Earth. I got a pretty good, I'm in good standing. I'm in good standing as far as my credit. Like, there's restaurants I don't go to in this town that people travel far and wide to come to these restaurants, and I ain't going to even waste my breath. Because the people that work in it or own it suck. And I'm not going to eat food from people that suck. So, I did get to go to Legacy yesterday, though, cafe. I'm going to miss their chili cheese dogs. They're the place that once me and Mom move on, I'm going to say, because there's places like in Omaha, there's a restaurant, Block 16. You ever get a layover, have fucking Dine and Dash to Dine, whatever, Grubhub, order takeout from there and have it dropped off at the airport. I would go out of my way to have a layover in Omaha so that I could do that. I would actually call ahead and request like lobster mac, like something that they, because I used to eat at Block 16. I was fortunate. I worked right downtown. From Landmark Building on 12th and 11th and 13th floor. Thought it was funny. I was like, I thought buildings didn't have 13th floors. Anyway, we did. So I would call after about 12:30. Me and Colin were the help desk support, Northern America for G4S Secured Solutions. Security's an inside job and people profit from going, boo! You need to be scared. Pay me and I'll protect you. That's America. That's the military. That's every freaking rent-a-cop. It's every sheriff. It's the fraternal brotherhood of butt stuff. That's what. And then they gather and then they talk about weird stuff and do weird stuff in behind closed doors so their wives don't find out. Because if they did, they'd sure as hell leave them. For sure, and that's America. I just talk about what America is. I didn't make America this way. My ancestors did. But they never learned how to take care of people. They never learned how to create systems that supported the mother because the systems were run by men that were mad at their mommies. So they want to punish all the moms. So you only want to give a single mom $55 of 2 kids in the 1970s. While we're flying everywhere in big jet, while the military, because I was in the military, so I saw what happens to all the money that moms like my mom didn't have, because they always said don't be selfish. You don't get food and stuff like that and a place to live, enough money, because we have to go bomb things in other countries because gay men like to dress up and bomb things because it makes their little balls quiver. So they create that because when they were little boys, they rode in their pappy's musclehead car, and then they went and watched the fireworks, and it did things to them. And then so they got to a point, then they started driving the car, or they started to motorcycle, whatever puts them in that zoomies. When they get the zoomies, they use the zoomies on that. And then they become football players and baseball players. They get the zoomies. It's like little kids. It's Arrested Development everywhere in America. I always thought that I was talking to my friend about that because I remember watching that show when I worked at Creighton University, but I never looked up the definition of arrested development until my friend drew it to my attention. And basically, every person I meet, I don't care the age, it's like they're 15 years old, right? I'm living the dream of what I wanted to do when I was 15. It's just because I knew when I was 15, when Mom got her head slammed in a car door, that I would forever be taking care of her. So I'm living the life of I was, because I'm still taking care of her. It's just, she's going to be 75. And on her birthday, it was the date of my enlistment. So it's been 25 years that I enlisted. And she took such good care of herself for so long. She did things the system should not have allowed her to do, but God allowed it. And she carried herself on her broke feet for so long. And then I saw that it was getting hard for her. And then I started seeing the future and how it was only going to get harder for her. And what? She going to be in her 60s and walk around carrying her little cans of Innocence chili? No. There's this TikTok trend where people are going around, they're picking up their kids. I was thinking about doing it with Mom. Mom, I'm going to pick you up, but this isn't going to be the last time I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to pick you up and carry you for all time that you are here. Until you get to your last, and, you know, the final journey begins. And then, but see, that's the thing, is like, I understand that our spirits, our souls in our soul sack, when we take our last breath, that is our soul. That is every good and evil deed we've ever done. And that goes out. And anybody you've ever been into alignment, they get an all access pass to that data and information if you've ever been frequentially aligned to people. And I'm not frequentially aligned to a lot of people. But when I am aligned, we are aligned and locked in. That's why I'm drawn to people, and I listen to people I don't even like, even the Leo cub. Because he says things that help me process the storyline in which I perceive, from the perspective of the entitled and the privileged. And I shunned all of that privilege. And my brother didn't. And we are like the story of that they tell in the stars, of, you know, of good and evil, and just, you know, taking care of people you care about, even when you don't care about, just making sure everybody gets taken care of. That's collective conscious, sum of all parts. That's Jesus Christ consciousness, you know. And then maybe some people see something I do out there, making homeless people coffee, not charging nobody. I'm not a barista. And it's funny, there's a show that's doing that a girl made a mobile coffee shop, you know. And her dad owns an auto shop. I reached out to an old girlfriend that I used to know like the first one, when I was 18, and I wrecked a car of hers, and I always felt bad for that, because I knew how much she loved it. I knew how hard she worked for it, and even though my anger was justified in my mind, I still caused damage, and that has always bothered me. And every fifth step I ever did at AA, she was on it. But she was always married, and you don't go intervene. But she's not married no more. And I don't want to bring that storyline into present moment. I want to resolve that storyline. So I sent her a text with my phone number, because I've been trying to get a hold of her, and I don't know, and I'm not good with tech, and neither other people, and I'm a very direct person, so I go directly with the person that I'm trying to get a hold of. And so I sent her my phone number. I said, call me. I owe you money for that silica I wrecked. So I'm going to see. And then I'm going to try one friend of hers. I'm going to message her too, with the screenshot of the message I sent to Dita, just to see if she gets it. And then if she, as the gatekeeper, the best friend, thinks it's worth passing on, I'll let her make that determination. Because I really want to pay her, so I don't got to think about her no more. I don't want to do. I don't want. I want her to have a good life. We had so much fun though. But anyway, her dad actually, when Mom kicked me out when I was 18, she did to me what her adopted parents did to her because she didn't know what else to do. She knew she couldn't afford to feed me and stuff like that anymore, and so, or she didn't want to, I guess. And so I was eight, but I'd been paying rent from the time I was 15. But anyway, I came out, I graduated from high school. I was going through my stuff. She took my money and went on vacation, and she changed the locks, and I had no place to go, and I was just hanging out with my friends, couch surfing here, hanging out there, Guys, and then met this goofy gal, this silly bits, Dita, and we hung out, and then she'd take me over to her house, and I met her family and stuff like that, and then basically they let me live there with her, and we were best friends at first, and then I got sweet on her, and we just had our little storyline, but that storyline ended, and if it didn't, I probably never would have left Reading. So it's best for everyone. And but we drank too much Jose Cuervo one night with my buddy that worked in the kitchen, Sluggo, at Chevy's. And I was driving home, and she caught on fire, and I put her out, but I burned my hand. And I got jealous, and I said something, and she hit me across the fingers. And it hurt in my whole body. It hurt so bad. It hurt because I got hurt helping her, like saving her, and that's what hurt more than the pain of my hand. And so I was like, okay, that hurts. How can I hurt her? And so I came off the on off ramp and onto this one turn, and I just slammed on the brakes as hard as I could. And I freaking hit the guardrail. I didn't mean to. It was an accident. I was still learning physics. And I value life much more these days, and I don't drink, and so I don't do anything to put anybody I care about in harm's way. And so I don't let that anger run me, because that's what life is about. So, anyway, that's what I want to make right. But, people, there's so much darkness on this planet because people have done so many terrible things. They've done things that when they hear the person's name that did that thing, it puts a bad taste in your mouth just thinking about it. Because the people still act like that. That's why it puts a bad taste. I'm like, you know what? They're still that same person. They just evolve into more ego and less spirit. That's what I learned in recovery is like, make up for the shit you did and stop doing that shit. And people don't do that. They use recovery as, oh, I don't live like that anymore. But they never, ever, 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 ever really truly go back and make up for all the damage that they've caused to people that they don't even know. Because they're too busy thinking about themselves. Because they're shallow, self-absorbed people that if you ever see me in a studio where I'm sitting there where I have like ornaments know that the aliens have completely taken over and I'm off driving this ship and I'm just a soul sack here on the planet acting like a dunce and a fool. How many people is that fool surrounded with in LA? They don't got has he ever once? No, he's a poser, dude. Poser. I'm here to show people who the posers are. And Cubs can never be kings. I'll see that dude one day. I'm going to have somebody record it. I'll be like, watch this. Booyah! I think the kid has a good future if he just eases off himself a bit. Because when I was his age, I just moved to Oregon. No, I was still in Omaha. I had everything. The house, the girl. I had it all. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not supposed to be living this life. There is more to my life supposed. So if the Grandee Gross are putting their talking the talk, there's a lot of people with a lot of numbers in their bank account that are gonna start putting their money where their heart is, because that's what an enlightened being would do, because money's not real and economics are just made up reindeer games. So by that logic alone, it would dictate, unless people are getting stuck in the momentum of just like watching that number grow. I remember I used to get stuck in that momentum. I just watch every month the number grew. Then I just think all the things I wanted to do, and it wasn't go out and feed fucking homeless and making coffee. I assure you that. It was, I always wanted to see Chelsea Handler and Joe Coy on the same ticket. Where's that going to happen? So I looked that up. Oh, that's going to happen in Orlando? When? All right. Hey, I'm going to take that weekend off and fly down to Orlando and watch this comedy. That's how I used to live my life. And then I even got the book. I was like this third person in line. She signed it. Like, this is back in my I got all the trophies of all the really important things I did when I lived on 3D Earth. But we're supposed to evolve past that, because we're spiritual beings having human experiences. And any human in 2026 that would buy a new fucking F-350 is, God, no kind of practical minded. Like, what are you gonna do with that? And it breaks down, and I see. I'm always thinking in militant terms, though. That's why I want to keep peace on Earth, because I know the strategies of war. I know how war works. It's stupid. It's a game. If people want to go play war, then go out in the field and get your little blank gun and just do it up like you. But no, they have to kill. It's that because they get aroused. They get all. It's so stupid. The human race has slowed to a stall. It's no different than growing up and watching how animals act on what was that? Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. We'd watch that on Sundays. Funny story. Fast forward 25 years later, I was driving past that building on a regular basis, and that's what I learned what the insurance companies really are all about. High-rise buildings. And then later, I even worked with this dumb broad named Liz. She was the marketing lady. She had a good life, and her husband didn't have to hardly do nothing, because she would make up those little mailings, those leaflets that they would send out. They would have budgets, because she would come and say, we have $4.1 million budgets that I got to make, and we got to send out. And then she would fly all over to sit at a table to hand out these flyers so people would buy the insurance, so she could go home and have all the things she could ever imagine. I don't think she ever once fed the homeless herself, like any initiative. I see, that's why I quit going to recovery, because I'm tired of fucking fakes. Everywhere I go, there's fakes. I left recovery because their tagline is "fake it till you make it." I'm like, everybody's a liar as far as I'm concerned, as that logic goes. I'm always going to be. Are they faking it? Are they faking it? How are they faking it? If we're all faking it, and that's why I live out loud. I'm a live out loud person. That's why people don't like me, because I always spoke the truth. I'm autistic, and so like I tell stories, and people don't want the stories told that I tell. And I'm like one of those Cat Williams guys. Like, hey, dude, shouldn't have been a fucking dick to me, and I wouldn't have never had to tell a story about that time they were a dick, huh, Bobby Coyle? Marge, be the better person. No, I'm not a person. I was born in San Bernardino. I'm a LA-lian, technically. But I set myself up for life, because I'm like at Arrested Development with practical skills. That's what I evolved into. Like, I want to sit around and do nothing a lot. And I'm super excited. I just got one of these. I'm making candy. That's my new thing. I'm past cookies. I'm through with cookies. I don't even want to hardly do cookies no more. But I'm getting this tomorrow. Boop! I'm so happy. It's like I thought it was just like it toasted the oats, so to speak. Nosy notes, and little Lindsay Ivy. I thought it just toasted the oats, but it makes I can make how many sticks of butter did it say? I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna make so much candy because I make caramel too. Ah. I got a tray for lollipops for suckers, so I want to make apple flavored caramel lollipops, like Candyland. Arrested Development as a grown up. I used to play Candyland. It was beneath me. I said, this is it. Because I was playing chess by the time I was 3. So there's a lot of things that I'm like, this is it. I've been waiting for people to catch up for a long time. I'm super happy they are. I am super happy. Because I see people, I'm going to make a place to go, a me treat instead of a retreat. So they can come hang out with me and treat themselves to a good time the way I thought. Because I healed myself. Not 100%. I ain't never going to be 100%. Ain't nothing is. But like, I'm past the angry Marge. I'm past angry Marge stage. Because I'm finally to that place where I see myself in everybody I face. Everybody. I'm the hey, okay, hey. I mirror. They mirror me, I mirror them. And how you respond to people, it's just a puzzle. It's just a game. I just have to stay in the right side of my spirit, be so grateful that I don't want to do nothing to piss them off. Because New Mexico, you get people, you piss somebody off, you tell them, call them stupid cousin, you're going to get freaking 9 millimeters of lead coming at you hot in the leg or in the face or wherever. Or they'll hit you with their car because that's what I did that time I wrecked Dita's car. Like, misplaced anger, crimes of passion. I'm trying to make a world where people they don't turn into thieves because they have everything they need. And the thieves are the people at top that are in control. The thieves are the people that sit in the city council. The thieves are the presidents and the congressmen and this. They're all the thieves. So I just sit back and watch how they're robbing themselves of a good world. Because the more disdain they create, the more pain, the more people get mad and hurt. Like I used to get so mad. It was at the time my car got repoed. But instead of sitting there getting mad and drinking until I felt better, like I started to do, I had another moment of clarity. And what I would do is I would take the anger I'd have and I'd walk to the store to go buy bags of dog food. I would use that anger and turn it into purpose. So I got my car repoed. I was 41, 42. I had freaking an 8-pack stomach. I had abs. I was freaking. I couldn't pay the bills though. So I tried to find the dirty places to do the bad things to get paid a lot of money. I'm April 9th, man. I got the same birthday as Jenna Jameson and Hugh Hefner. Dennis Quaid, Kristen Stewart. Like all these self-will run riot people. But thank God I didn't do that because I didn't end up with a face that I couldn't look at in the mirror and want to go and alter it, change it. Man, Jenna Jameson used to be fucking gorgeous. And every now and again I'll look up to see what she's evolved into and I just see ego and demonic attachments. And those are all the things I overcome. So whenever I feel anger or anxiety or powerlessness is the predominant one. That's the main one. Whenever I feel powerlessness, I go and I pick up my 20-pound weights and I do sets of 300. And then there's times you can see what I'm going through in life. Like you can see when I know one of the dogs are leaving. I bulk up. You can see when I go through things, I bulk up because I feel powerless, and I'd rather use stuff like that to keep my body going than to do things to break it down. So in the event that something happens, I can't use my body to pick up mom. Mom hangs on like a little crab. I said I'd help her get out of the car. I might have runners put on. I don't know. I might have to add that to the list. Runners put on or stairs so mom can get up and me. Ma, how's that sound?
Very good.
Does that sound good? Have stairs put on? I'm having all this stuff on the Suburban taken care of. I'm gonna see if they can put a drawer system in the back so I can put camping gear. We can go on our drives and watch just people out and pull over on the side of the road and ask them if they'd like to share a cup of coffee. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
And then ask them where they're from and see what they're like. And if they're cool, maybe we could travel to the place that they're from. That's a good way to live, huh, Ma?
Yeah.
And then make dog beds and cat trees with bookshelves in them. And then just rescue pets and critters. I sent my nieces a message this morning asking them to call me. I would love to make a legacy of a beach tree for a place that they could go to have all the fun that they never got to because they were born to somebody that had some sort of weird addiction. So that they didn't get to have the life. I can help people put people back on track of the life that would make them joyful. What makes them happy based on their astrology, not my astrology. Hi, the Fifth World 22. Welcome to my tiny tube. And then just hand out my stickers that I give to people and my magnets. And then if they get mad at me for being joyful to them, that's when I get my head tail and go, I wonder what's going on in their life that makes them want to deny joyful things. I'm glad I'm not like that anymore. Because I have been. And I know the depths of pain. And I'm not saying that as like a, like a belittling thing. Is because I have acted out in a lot of ways. Like overreacted. Because when scary things happen in life, I can't react how I want to during that time. So I save that combustion. And then some stupid dumbass, probably in a Jeep, is gonna get why heaps of creeps drive Jeeps. And then I'll have them looking in their genealogy to go back generations to make up for the damage that they do by just driving Jeeps. And I'll tell you why right now, and then I'm going to excuse myself. Because reality is based on perception. And in America, we have been induced perception through TV. And then when I was a little impressionable young girl in the 70s, they had shows, and music is a big preponderant key factor too. So how many people, I see TikToks like, you hear this song, da da da. Suicide Solution is what the song is called. Know your shit. And then it's time for bed because it was adult content. But I mean, after what happened to me at 10 months old, I already was dipped into the ethers and the no place space. So I know what evil is in real life. TV is just teaching me where to find it out there, essentially. So, because of MASH and they had those Jeeps, all these people were programmed. Because when I was on Crete, they did the same thing with the Humvee. I see Humvees out in the wild, and I do this. I'm tapping. Because I'm like, these are the dumb shits that are perpetuating the program. Thank you. Back at ya. Where are you at? What parts of the world are you at? I looked at your channel this morning and saw your photos. I got Snapnacks too. I got a website called Snapnacks, and I used to do this pick your price photography that nobody ever hit me up for. But so I love taking pictures. Florida, that's what I just talked about Florida earlier because that's I went to Orlando to see Joe Coy, and that's where I got this book. But I don't. Florida is. I went to a cruise from Miami because a lady I knew did a destination wedding, and you just show up for your friends. So I did, and I'm not friends with her anymore. I still get to carry the experience of going to Tulum. I don't know if I would ever make it back to Florida. I'm more of a mountain. I went out in Atlantis before, so I'm not real big on ocean stuff. I grew up in Morro Bay, California, on the other side. I mean, the life lessons I learned from the year and a half, 2 years that we lived there, I still talk about them now. Like, I feel like that period of time was like years, like 5 years, but we were only there for a couple, like 18 months. My dad and uncle, grandpa, they all climbed up on, because they're all machismos. They're all, look what we can do. Whatever people do stupid things, and it's all, because I used to do stupid things. Look what I can do. Good for us. Oh, we are better, definitely. I'm doing my part. You don't want to hear a funny story, a little background about me? When I was in the Air Force, I enlisted on Mom's 50th birthday and got out on her 56th birthday. I was 25 years old. I was an old lady, so I wasn't young, impressionable, and I already lived a hell life. I just lived in hell life in this organization and this, so I moved out around a lot and stuff. And so I just think that's so funny. But when I went in, I was supposed to be a lineman. And then the day I went in, I was like, I had started my period, and so they wouldn't let me ship because I was 3 pounds over. And then, like, I went back again. I had to go to MEPS like 3 or 4 times. Like, they jerked me around so much. And so, my last and final job, I was an age ranger. That's what my job. I was an age. Their aerospace ground equipment is what we are. We are flight line support. So there's no planes flying off to bomb nothing except for the B-1s and like the jet stuff like that. But there's a lot of planes that they use to be resource hawks, because all they do, they make, this is what the American government is, and this is why they hate me, because I explain it and break it down so easily in layman's terms. They put us in places where we have no business, and they say this is a hazardous zone. We're the hazard. We are little boys that just grew up playing video games, eating apple pie and doing apple pie and all that stuff. And then we become the hazard, and then we pay ourselves things like hazardous duty pay. And then they give us perks like for things like, oh, we're the hazard. We're giving you an extra bonus. You don't have to pay taxes on any of that money. How much of America doesn't know about that? All the money you make over there for being the hazard, it's all tax-free. And then they invite all their buddies over. Hey, come hang out and come get on this plane. And then we'll fly over at the end of 1 month. And we'll fly over for 30 minutes. And then we'll turn around. And then when we come back, oh, there's a new month. Guess what? That's 2 months you get hazardous duty and tax-free. And that, in the shell of a nut, is the industrial military complex, which I call the fraternal brotherhood of butt stuff, the land of gay while away. And that is the reality of it. And I am in good standing with people that were lifers. Like, that, just because I talk about the system being shit doesn't mean I think that everybody a part of the system is shit. I'm just here to expose people Because I'm not so neurotypical. They said in '87 I was autistic. I thought they said artistic. Yes, look. Watch this. It's not. It gets better. Oop! I just kicked over my cup of coffee. It gets better. It does. Not only was I a witness to it, this is the part that's fucking funny. I got pictures to prove it because I had those little in my backpack that I take everywhere. This is look up the Panorama Hotel. That's the view from my room when we bombed Iraq in '03. Okay? Look it up. I got blocked. Here's the view from my room. That's the actual view from my room. I loved animals, so everywhere I went, I made friends with the critters. Here's people, crew chiefs and shit, just hanging out. Look at all the dust from us bombing shit. But hey, let's just sit around and have some... They couldn't actually drink. But here's the flight line. This is why I don't like Humvees. These are all... So all these people got tax-free. I got pictures. But ain't nobody want me on their podcast. Because why? They got Humvees and Jeeps in their driveways. And then I might make them feel bad about their positions in life and why it's stupid and how they went along with the program, even though many of them talk about the program, and then they go out and they get in their big stupid fucking $90,000 Jeeps. And then I hate them because they're impractical, because Jeeps are shit. But hey, I got to go to paradise. I was not too far from where they created a whole damn town. This is from the other view from the hotel. I got to go to fucking the island. I was chilling where the gods chill. And I got paid for it. Here, I got all these boom diddy boom boom booms. This is all so they can don't have to take pills. This is the only time that America, look up last year. Last year, the military system spent $58 million on male enhancement drugs. The only time those numbers go down is when we're in times of war. Make that correlation. It's like when it gets hot outside and ice cream sales go up, then that's an indicator that crime's going to go up. It's the same thing. It's like when they meet at the Pentagon and get pizza. Oh, this is a lighthouse I got to go to in Oregon one time. See, they it's so funny. There's some more boom diddy boom booms. This is what I looked like during that time. I did it all for that little dog. I didn't mean to go to war. I was just trying to get a college education because I knew from the time I was 15, since that dude slammed Mom's head in a car door. Oh, I did get a picture of the flight line off it. It don't matter now because they got fucking, you can look at it from the sky now. I was where George Bush came in on 9/11. I flipped him off out the hangar door at the aid shop that day. Ain't no man standing behind me. I didn't see anybody sticking their arm out because you can't go in. I say that because you can't go in and out. There's protocol. And so they called the no ins outsies rule while he taxis past. Exactly. I'm trying to create a world where the military doesn't exist. And all the money that they spent on their boner pills and stuff, single moms can use to take care and nurture that baby, and use astrology to do its best for the being and not what the parent thinks it should do. And hey, people, another thing Americans don't recognize is universal health care. Universal health. Dude, nobody in the military ever gets a bill for anything. Oh, I don't use talk text. I still write things out. You want to know why I write? I like my writing because I have so much heavy metal toxin. They gave me 8 anthrax vaccine. And I was in radiology. I used to work IT in radiology at Creighton University. It's not even there no more. When I got out. And they used Nuance Dragon software back then. This is like 2010. And I don't like reindeer games and stocks and stuff, but if there was something I would have invested in, it was nuanced back then. Because I went to school in '03 for IT. And so I saw where the whole AI thing was going, but I don't like the people that do it, so that's not my world. I just ignore it. And so I worked in radiology and there and I would love listening to the residents and doctors and stuff like that do their dictation software. So they would sit there and then I'd ask the real stuffy ones, the real uptight, real self-important radiology questions like, "Hey, do you ever go to a restaurant and then like get stuck in dictation mode and then just start going through and just ordering like I would like a salad, comma, like just start talking in that jargon, and they just blankly look at me. And then like go to their houses to set up their stuff, and I see how these really important people really live, and they're fucking dirty. They're gross. One day I'm excited to live in a place where I have a place for everything. And it's not like that. I'm so excited. I just got my first cardboard box cutter. And then it snowed this morning. I'm out there in my robe and slippers. Oh, I use ionic foot soaks. Well, like I say, nothing ever 100%. I got metal in my teeth. Like they've been toxifying me my whole life. When I was born, they knew who I was gonna be. When I was born, they've been trying to make me angry my whole life. They would inject stuff into the womb when mom was pregnant with me because they just would give her something. And I've always been an experiment. I'm trying to teach people that whatever they do, they ain't gonna break my spirit. Because I'm going to still smile to my last day. People don't get it. I'm 5'4". I'm not a very big woman. I'm large. I'm solid. I'm only small in stature, but I'm girthy. And so grown men like see the power in me and they run at me because they want to see me flinch, but I won't flinch. Because if anything, I'll take a step forward and use their momentum and frickin' launch them like a rocket. Because I did that once when I was 15. Mom drank too much, was hanging out with the guy. Guy came knocking on the door, said, "Come get your mother." So I did. She had drinking peppermint schnapps. She thought she was so funny. It was hilarious. Yeah, no, I have those. I just did one the other day. I'm trying. See, I'm going through menopause too, and I ain't never been a woman in menopause, so I'm trying to do what my body wants, and mostly it's just exercise, because that's what my planetary alignment wants, because I'm Cancer, rising, Scorpio, Moon, Aries. Right, that's the thing, is like, we ended up the same place because like attracts like. And my channel is small because there are people like me. But as the earth evolves and people elevate, they will come into my understanding. And then that's where they can perceive me. Because I'm like the parents on Peanuts, but I've been doing these talks since 2017. I've done over 2.6 thousand videos where I am perceiving the reality as it's happening. I do talks back in 2019 telling people don't take any shot, because that's what they did to me back in '03. And then in '08 I could see my personality change, where I was just I was so sensitive, my body would pick up every stupid thing, and then I would react and I would respond, and then police hate me because they're all fucking fraternal brotherhood of butt stuff, and I got a littering ticket, and I am so anti-littering, and because he fucking was a civilian, he was in a plainclothes cop, he was in a Honda Civic, he was the passenger in the car, I was late to work, and they were dicking around, and the speed limit was 30, but they were going 20, and I tapped my fucking horn, like, at least go the speed limit, and fucking machismo lip dick fucking had his buddy slammed on the brakes. He gets out of the car. He's swinging his badge in my face. He calls another cop. And when he did that, I slammed on the brakes. I had a cigar in my hand. It went flying. I got a littering ticket. And they made me sit there. Like, it was a total abuse of power, but this is before I knew things. Now if you go look at my pinned video of my encounter with the deputy doofus of Taos County, you'll see how I learned that they're just fucking assholes. And they pick on people. And I just know my rights, and I can say things like that are illegal. Like, I can flip anybody I want off for any reason, and I should not have to go to jail. And a deputy should not hit my car with this little wand and do stupid stuff like that, right? I just think it's funny how people end up at the same place. And they'd go these, like, you know, and I'm just trying to not be homeless with my mom, asking people for help. Like, hey, you know, like, it was such, like, they don't understand to have somebody that has special needs that you have to, like, take care. I was a mess. The VA system in New Mexico had me drive 2.5 hours north to Del Norte, Colorado, to the hospital for a 20-minute appointment. And then I asked for x-rays, so they did those too. So that added another so it was 40 minutes from start to finish. You know, but all their technology in the world. And the whole time I'm like, I had to ask, the only guy I knew in town was this old Indian dude that works at the laundromat. I was like, hey, can you just come and hang out with mom? I'll set you up, you know, I'll make all the food, just like, I'll tell, you know. And I came home like there was none of the food was ate. Like, I don't know what happened when I was gone. But like the whole time I'm just like walking in faith because they just fucking... They just, and then, no, I have so many stories about, because it's the fraternal order of butt stuff. The brotherhood of butt stuff. And they all do really tough and ugly, gross things, because that's the things that they have to do to remind them that because they're, in their mind, that's their program, that what men do. And that's a really fucking gross program. And they have guns. And I don't. My protector is God. And a fire extinguisher. Like, and I got a smart mouth, and it don't always stay closed when it should. So, how you doing, Ma? You almost ready to get up?
Yeah.
We might do French toast again, because the French toast was so darn good last time.
No, it was.
Yesterday or the day before? What did we have yesterday? Mom's is a traveler, so... Oh, no, cops have had me in handcuffs, and I've straight up fallen on my face. And they laughed and watched. And I was in my house. RPD, Reading Police Department, sucks ballsack. BAAL. They all suck. Fucking all. Because if anybody is allowed to be on the force when there's 2 people, then they all suck. Then none of them are good. They're all beyond reproach. And so yeah, they're out. Just record everything. Record every fucking thing. And put it on TikTok. Put it on YouTube. This is just the stupid... You know what I say whenever... Because New Mexico is so bad. I just say... Because you're not bringing race or anything like that into it. You're just saying this is what happens when the stupid cousins get the good jobs. Because it's a program. I have a cousin was in... Atascadero, he's born and raised. He went and guarded a fucking bomb in the UK. Met a woman there, because ain't no self-respecting American woman would ever put up with the shit that he did out of. Sat there with the gun there, did nothing, collected a retirement, then came back and sat at a desk, connected another pension. But he's a really great guy. Just, they all suck. But yeah, I was walking into my apartment. Had been drinking, got a ride home, was in the lock was stuck, sticking, and I should have just freaking went boom, 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 but I wasn't thinking on the doorbell because my roommate was inside. Dude, another thing, you want to know why they... Oh, let me finish this story and I'll tell you how they're the second lowest test scores on the military entrance exam. And then you'll really be like, dude, they really are not intelligent. And they've just have been playing video games that show them that it's really cool to freaking kill prostitutes with a bat. And that's what you're working with. And then they want... they're just... It just goes in how creepy they are. And so, the police people drove past in the car, flashed the light on me, called me down, put me in handcuffs. I was nervous, stimming. I fucking turned my ankle, fell on my face, and they laughed at me. And I was just like, dude, you guys... But when I was 15, Mom had it. The guy that slammed Mom's head in the car door, he got drunk, and the sheriff threatened to throw him in the jail, and Mom wanted to save him, so was offered to give him a ride, and he tried to kill me. Like, he took Mom's cane. We were in a 64 Chevy Biscayne, the same one that he slammed her head in the door. Took her cane, broke it over his knee. Mom pulled over. She's just frantic. And I'm like, and he's telling me how he wanted to stand over my head. How I was sleeping, all the times I was sleeping, he'd stand over me with a fork and just wanted to gouge my eyes out. Stuff like that. Like, weird, sick shit. And so, and I'm like running from him, and then I'm worried about Mom getting too upset with her head and stuff, and he calms down, and we get back in the car, get him dumped off at his sister's house, the enabler. Because that's why men exist like that, is because women protect them. Somebody protects them. I'm not fucking and protecting no asshole. So they, and then we're on the way home, and an RPD passes us. Freshman year in high school was very hard for me. And with the cop, gun drawn, said we got to report. You could see there's a 15-year-old girl and a woman in the car and nobody else. You can like, we drove a fishbowl. You could clear, but no, their protocol is to be a fucking cocksucker. And so, I just got killed. I just got almost killed by assholes on both sides of the badge. So who are the bad guys in my world, I wonder? Huh? Because my brother is a big important lawyer, and he slammed my head into the fucking ground after he got back out of basic training. So what are they teaching people how to act? To beat up little girls? And he was a state wrestler. And he still didn't have enough to control his emotions not to do that. And they all say women are so... Anytime a man says you're so emotional... Anytime anybody tells you that you're over emotional, tell them that they're telling you that you're over emotional. They're just telling on themselves. People tell on themselves. I tell on myself. I got 2.6 thousand videos of me telling on myself. And they suck. And they suck. And I don't want to hang out with people, so I'm going to go off and make a me treat. A retreat for me and Ma and the critters. And then people can come visit. Because the rest of the world is stupid and I ain't going to hang out with them no more. I'm going to grow my own flower and then use that flower. This is another thing I do. I have a program on my phone. It's called it.Artists. I don't know what I did with my phone. It's called it.Artists. And then I can use my headphones and then infuse it into the infusions that I make for my candy. And so the 111 frequency is... There it is. Here. See, this is cool. I'm the only one that does this shit. And I look everywhere to see what people are doing to make the world a better place. So, not only do I just talk a whole lot of shit, I back up the shit I talk. But here's a program called it.Artists.com, and then it has this little interface, and then it has like it's not working on my iPad for some reason. Well, anyway, I don't need it to. Because I could run it on my iPad and then use my phone for other stuff. Straight people like rainbows too at Gmail. What is it? Hold on. My if you want to do snail mail, I like letters too. My P.O. box is still on there, I think. I think snail mail is fine. Anyway, BZtronics, and then you have presets. You got all these presets, right? And then they have healing frequencies for just to the one I made these gummies, my first batch of gummies with pain general right here. And look, it's the 111 frequency. How cool is that? That's the time I was born too. So it all lines up. And then I made gummies for the first time. And then what I do is I set it for 20 minutes. And then like I was having tech problems because Mercury's in retrograde. And so I did 20 minutes and then 10 of 111 frequency in the MCT oil. And then when the people eat the oil, that heals them from the inside too, frequentially. Ha ha! Ain't no other bitch doing that shit. See, I had to learn how to heal myself so I could tell people all the horrendous shit that I had to go through. So what's their fucking problem? That's pretty much. I basically have survived in life out of spite. Pretty much. Out of people saying, you can't do that. And me going, you want to make a bet? Fucking watch me. And then I'll show you how stupid it is for doing that. And then I'll show you better ways to do it better. So when I enlisted, I was 25, like I said. And I would talk to the recruiter. Sometimes he'd give me a ride home. Because he felt like saving me a 2.5-hour bus ride from Reading to Anderson. And I'd ask him questions, because we're not in the office, so I'd ask him questions, you know. And I'd ask him things like, are the police the lowest test score on the military entrance exam? And he would giggle and he'd say, no, they're the second lowest. And I'd say, who's the second lowest? The people in services, the people at the gym that wipe down the equipment. Or the people at chow hall that pour the egg mixture onto the griddle and flip it 4 ways to make your omelet. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I got in trouble I got a DUI, like not walking, but I was a pedestrian when I got in trouble, but I got myself in trouble. But doing that, I got to show people how I was so willing to take responsibility for my behavior, and I made a mistake. And I still didn't even get sober until 8 months later. Because I was a grown-ass woman in the military, and I do what I want. If I want to drink to let off steam, I was blah, 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 blah. All that shit. So I learned from my mistakes, at least. I learned from my mistakes. I don't make the same mistakes. I make all new ones. I'm a jack of all tirades. It's what us Heyoka do. It's our purpose in life is to live through hell. So people don't have to live the same experiences that I have. So babies don't have to... So other... Babies being born now, what I'm trying to do with my whole mission in life is to keep every baby born right now, keep them from having their hips pop when they're a 52-year-old woman or male, and not have to carry that pain in your body for shit that you had no control over because you had the misfortune of crossing the paths of people that had weird choices of what they did when they felt powerlessness. Because they want to take it from somebody else. And I never let them do that to me. Neither did you, Ma, because you taught me the right ropes. That's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. I hope y'all have a rad day. Peace.